Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and salam sejahtera. The business that we choose is NAJ Enterprise. First, let me introduce the team members. First is me, Anggun Nadira binti Rohazid. Second is Muhammad Adib bin Muhammad Jaafar. Third is Muhammad Syafiq bin Arifin. And last but not least is Muhammad Nur bin Rohaizat. So the topic that we will discuss in this presentation will be the background of the business, the characteristic of the business, the classification of the business, the recording process of the business, and lastly is the strengths and weaknesses of the business. I'm going to explain about the business background of NAJ Enterprise. The business owner is Puan Nurul Ayuni binti Muhammad Jaafar. She is 33 years old. She sells a product of sugar bowl. Puan Ayuni is one of the top 10 agents in Malaysia. She has more than 30 dropships under her. Basically, she covers around the Perak. Throughout her career with Sugar Bowl, she has received 4 awards. The business is located in Ipoh, Perak. For me, the location is very strategic because it's near to city. So NAJ Enterprise is sole proprietorship business. The business is founded by Puan Ayuni in 2015 and she hired 2 workers. The business sells a product of sugar bowl such as a freshener, hand sanitizer, and various other merchandise. NAJ is stand for Nurul Ayuni Jaafar. As we can see from the picture, this is the biggest achievement in 2022 of Puan Nurul Ayuni. In 2022, Puan Ayuni has sold Sugar Boom products for more than 80,000 ringgit. Sugar Boom company has appreciated Puan Ayuni achievement by sponsoring her to go to Bali this year. And now, I'm going to talk about the business characteristic. The first business characteristic is registration. No matter in which type of business the company is engaged, it should be illegal in the eyes of law, or else an action will be imposed if not registered with Suruhanjaya Syarikat Malaysia. As a sole proprietorship, NAJ Enterprise has registered her company under Suruhanjaya Syarikat Malaysia. The second characteristic is NAJ Enterprise involved in economic activities. This business is conducted with the primary objective or earning money for an economic motive, and it is a fragrance sector. The other characteristic is in terms of capital. NAJ Enterprise capital is contributed by the owner, Puan Ayuni. The business opening capital is started with RM25,000 cash. The money comes from the owner personal saving. Next is ownership. NAJ Enterprise company is owned by one person, which is the owner, Puan Ayuni. It is also managed and controlled by the owner itself. Liability is other characteristic for NAJ Enterprise. As a sole proprietorship business, the business has unlimited liability, which means the owner personally responsible for all the debts of the business. But if Puan Ayuni gain a profit, the profit is owned by Puan Ayuni only. However, NAJ Enterprise has no liability at all. Next is profit and loss. The profit belongs to Puan Ayuni only, and any lost money from the business will be borne by the owner as well. Puan Ayuni will take all the responsibility from her business. Lastly, book of account. There is no legal obligation to keep the books and prepare account for NAJ Enterprise. That's all from me, and I will pass the other members presenter to continue. Thank you.
Hi, hello everyone. My name is Muhammad Syafiq bin Arifin. Today I would like to present about classification of business items. Firstly, we would like to talk about assets. In financial accounting, an asset is a resource that a corporation or economic organization owns and controls. It is everything that can be used to generate positive economic value, whether it is tangible or intangible. There are 2 types of asset, which is current asset and non-current assets. Current assets are all the assets of a company that are expected to be sold or used as a result of standard business operations and can be converted into cash within 1 year. Current assets are presented in the beginning of the company's balance sheet in asset section. Examples of current asset in NAJ Enterprise are cash in hand and cash in bank. For non-current assets are referred as a long-term investment in which the full value will not be realized within the accounting year are referred to as. They are often illiquid, which means they can be quickly changed into cash. There are three types of non-current assets, which are tangible, intangible, and long-term investment. NAJ Enterprise only have tangible assets. Tangible assets are assets or property owned by a company that can be seen physically. Examples of NAJ Enterprise tangible assets are printer, premises equipment, and refrigerators. Next, we would like to talk about capital. Business capital includes assets and funds. Capital can also refer to companies' own assets or money invested. NAJ Enterprise started their business with the beginning capital of RM25,000 ringgit. For revenue is the money brought into company by its business activities. It is computed as the average sales price multiplied by the number of units sold. It is the top line or gross income statistics from which net income is calculated by subtracting costs. On the income statement, revenue is also known as sales. Revenue are earned through the selling of goods or services. Sales made on credit will be recorded as revenue for products or services delivered to the client in accrual accounting. Cash accounting, on the other hand, counts sales as revenue only when they are paid. Example of revenue in NAJ Enterprise is commissions received. For expenses, an expense is when an asset loses its value to create income. Profit maximization is one of the key goals of firm formation or firm management teams. This is accomplished by increasing income while keeping expenses low. In their income statements, organizations break down their revenues and expenses. Accountants use one of two accounting systems to record expenses cash basis or accrual basis. Expenses are documented when they are paid in cash basis accounting. The accrual system, on the other hand, records expenses as they are incurred. The expenses of NAJ Enterprise includes RM2,000 for each employee's salaries and wages, electricity expenses, which is RM1,200 ringgit, and rent expenses, which is RM3,000 ringgit. That's all for classification of business items.
Assalamualaikum and a very good day. I'm Muhammad Noor bin Wahizat. As you can see, NAJ Enterprise recording procedure consists of a few steps. The first phase in the accounting circle is to identify business transactions. NAJ Enterprises has numerous accounting circle transactions, each of which need to be accurately recorded in the company book. However, NAJ Enterprise goes a step further by employing a computer program as a cashier and accepting all forms of payment, including cash, debit card, credit card, and QR payment. For recording all types of transactions, record keeping is necessary. Second is source of documents. A paper trail is created every time a business engages in a financial transactions. This paper trail is referred to as a source of documentation in accounting. Whether a check is issued, client paid, a purchase is made to produce receipt, suppliers sent billing invoices, or employees record overtime on their timesheets. All these things are sources of the paper in concern. As physical proof that a financial transaction truly took place, sources of document are crucial to the bookkeeping and accounting processes. Nowadays, there is no need for hard copy because they may be created as electronic documents. Third, journal is a book, either printed or digital, where transactions are documented. Journals are regarded as the earliest logbooks. Usually, double entry accounting is used to record business transactions. At least 2 accounts are registered for them in the journal entry. Records of transactions are kept in the order that they happen for transactions like sales, purchases, cash receipt, and cash disbursement that need to be recorded often. Customized journals are frequently utilized to streamline the recording process. When a transaction cannot fit in a particular notebook, a general journal must be kept track of it. Additionally, NAJ Enterprise employ an accountant to oversee the business transactions. 4. Ledgers, often known as Book of Final Entry. Ledger is a group of accounts that display changes made to each account as a result of previously recorded transactions. Simply said, it display current balances and the legally collected data necessary to create a particular account. As an example, all general ledger entries for cash are posted to the cash account. We can notice any changes in cash when posting is completed, and we can determine the remaining balance from that. 5th, a trial balance that performs equality for debit and credit entries is constructed. The ledger account balances are all taken out and organized into one report. To demonstrate that there is a balance, all debit and credit amount are combined and must both equal in each other. However, the goal of the trial balance is to confirm that the overall debit and credit are equal. We cannot guarantee that the accounting reports are accurate. Even if the debit and credit balances are identical, problems might still happen, such as a double posting or failed transactions recording. 6. Adjustment, which includes two adjusting entries and adjustment to trial balances. An adjustment entry is one that is created to properly allocate each accounting period income and expenses amount in order to ensure that the financial accounts at the end of the year are correct and current. It updates previously recorded journal entries. The general ledger account balances are presented in the adjusting trial balances after any changes have been made. These changes often cover depreciations, prepaid expenses, accruing expenses, and other non-cash costs. It's that easy. The adjusted trial balance is stated on a company financial statement, which gives useful information about profit and losses, cash flow, and other items. It is prepared at the conclusion of an accounting period, which is the year end of the financial year. Financial statements are the last. Financial statements are official record of a person, business, or other entity financial situations and actions. An easy to understand format is used to provide relevant financial data in a systematic manner. Financial statement can now be created once the account has been brought up to date and the equality of the debit and credit has been verified. The final result of the accounting system is the financial statement, a statement of comprehensive income, a statement of changes in equity, a statement of the financial position of the balance sheets, a statement of cash flow, and financial statement make up a full set of financial statement. That's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and good day. My name is Muhammad Adib bin Muhammad Ja'afar. I will explain the strengths and weaknesses of the recording process. First and foremost, the business strength lies in its simplest form, which is that it was founded with a small amount of money. The owner did not spend a huge amount of money so that she could save it for other uses. Besides, the business gained trust from regular consumers. Regular consumers use their product because they had a good experience with it and love the product. They also have marketing materials from the founder. So, the agents or dropshippers do not have to make their own materials in order to advertise them. Following that are the company's assets. They have assets such as physical shops, products, furniture, cash and cash equivalents, and deposits for utilities. These assets show the profitability and financial position of the business. On top of that, based on the customer, the business has regular consumers who love the product, which is why they repeatedly use it in their daily lives. Last but not least, the beginning capital. The owner of the business invested around 25,000 ringgit in capital and did not take out a loan to start the business. For the long term, it is good because the business owner is not bound by any loan debt. Moving on to the weaknesses of the business. Based on the shops have a few small branches. It may lead to the consumer knowing less about the product. Besides, it disallows consumers to have a good experience in the shops because the shops themselves are small and not comfortable for consumers to enjoy their shopping. There's also the promotion and offer. The business seldom makes offers or discounts for consumers. It might affect consumer interest and attention in repeating the product. Besides, they also lack of convincing advertising. If their advertisement is not interesting, consumers may not be drawn to it and not be interested in the product. Then, brand power. The business was not the only perfume brand that existed. There are a lot of perfume brands even in our local marketplace, such as One Drop Perfume and Design Drop. They had to do better in order to compete with these local brands. Besides, the business is unable to compete with big brands such as Versace, Chanel, and Tom Ford. It is because these big brands have already been in the marketplace for a long time and have their own fans. Last but not least, the consuming. The business needs to gain trust from customers first, so that they can try and use the product. Moreover, the business is unable to provide a good customer experience in physical shops because it is uncomfortable and less efficient to attract the customer's interest. I guess that's all from us. Thank you for listening and for your kind attention.
Siapa sangka produk Sugar Bomb telah viral pada tahun 2022. Untuk tahun 2023, kita menjangkakan produk Sugar Bomb akan tersebar di seluruh Asia Tenggara. Lebih dari 5,000 usahawan yang dah berjaya bersama dengan Sugar Bomb. Mana taknya dengan bahan marketing yang disediakan oleh tim Sugar Bomb dan produk yang semestinya mudah dijual serta reward system yang berterusan kepada usahawan Sugar Bomb.